Let's take a tour of the internet. You are going to use a web browser to learn how to use the tools to get around the internet. Along the way, you will learn internet terms such as World Wide Web, www, hyperlink, hotspot, URL, web browser, web page, website, and homepage. What is the World Wide Web? The World Wide Web is a group of web pages. The web pages are joined together to make a web of information available to anyone in the world. Facts, images, videos, and games are just a few of the things on the World Wide Web.
Where does the internet come from?
Where does the internet come from?
Not sure? Okay, let's start with the basics. The internet is a global network of interconnected computers used to deliver that vast collection of digital pages we call the World Wide Web. They're not the same thing. It's actually an enormous system of cables, real physical cables, traveling all around the world, connecting our devices to the servers that store the pages we want to view. How does it work? First, your device needs to connect to your internet service provider's network. Congratulations, you're now part of the internet. By entering the address of the website you want to visit, you send an electronic request for information over your phone line or cable to your ISP. The ISP sends the request to a server further up the chain, a domain name server or DNS, which acts as a kind of directory. The DNS looks for a match for the address you've typed in. When it finds it, the request is sent to the server hosting that website. That server could be in a different country, so the request needs to travel along cables both under the ground and under the sea to reach its destination. Yep, it really does go under the sea. These subsea fiber optic cables literally connect the world, linking continent to continent, with the exception of Antarctica. 95% of international digital traffic travels this way. Just think, most of your tweets and emails have been underwater. Running under the seabed, these thousands of kilometers of fiber optic cable are known as the internet's backbone. Without them, the global internet just wouldn't work. Amazingly, they're only as thick as a garden hose, making them prone to the occasional shark bite. So, if your internet's slow, blame a hungry shark. It's never a big problem though. The cable network's so vast, the request simply reroutes. Contrary to popular belief, the internet is never down. The request finally reaches the data center housing the server where the website lives. The server sends the requested information back across the network, broken down into chunks of data called packets, which your device puts back together like a jigsaw to form the web page you see on your screen. And all this happens in the blink of an eye, all over the world, millions of times per second.
Web pages are joined together by hyperlinks. A hyperlink is a spot on a web page that when clicked will display another web page, document, video, sound clip, or file. Sometimes it's called link for short. Look at the pictures to see how web pages connect to other web pages using hyperlinks. Notice that the hyperlink here for images is underlined. If you click on that hyperlink, it will take you to the web page for images. If you wanted to look at the webcams, you would click on the hyperlink for webcams and it takes you back to the web page for webcams. Text hyperlinks are often underlined or in a different color. Sometimes hyperlinks are pictures. In this case, they are called hotspots. You can tell if something links to another page because the mouse pointer will change from an arrow to a hand when it rests over a hyperlink. Just as you and I have a home address that tells people where we live, a web page also has a home address. This address is called a Uniform Resource Locator, or URL for short. How does the computer know what web page to show when a hyperlink is clicked? A hyperlink has the URL or address of the web page. When the hyperlink is clicked, the device you are using gets or opens the web page from its address on the internet. What exactly is a web browser? To view web pages on the internet, you need software called a web browser. Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, and Google Chrome are just 3 of the many browsers available. On a web page, if you were to click the back button on the browser, then you will go to the page you were on prior to the current page. The address bar is where a web page's address or URL is located. If you click on the Home button, it will take you back to the web browser's home page. What is the difference between a web page, website, or home page? People like to use the words web page, website, and home page to say the same thing. This can be confusing. So what exactly is a web page? When thinking about web pages and websites, it is helpful to think of the pages in a book. A website is like a book, and a web page is one of the pages in the book. Put simply, a web page is a document on the web. However, if you want to get high-tech, a web page is a single file written using code such as HTML. A website is a collection of web pages on the World Wide Web. Sometimes it is simply called a site. A website is like a book that has many pages called web pages. Just like a book, websites are stored in a special spot. However, unlike a book on a library shelf, websites are stored on servers. Most websites are about a single topic. For example, the Disney website is all about Disney movies, products, and shows. The Ford Motor Company website is about cars and trucks they make. What exactly is a home page? A home page is one of the most confusing terms. It has 2 different meanings. In one case, a home page is the web page displayed after opening a web browser. However, a home page is also the web page that is the starting point for a website. In this case, the home page is like the front cover of a book.